Hi, this is Kathleen with My Happy Stamping Place, and I'm going to be sharing with you today the second card that we made in my monthly hybrid stamp club. And it is one of those cards where you go, wow, how did they do that? But it's really not that difficult. It's a front fan fold card, all of the words, and I'm happy to share that with you today, and I hope you enjoy. Hi, this is Kathleen with My Happy Place, and I'm going to be showing you the Arrow Fun Fold card today. We'll be making this one. Here's a die cut version and a stamped version. Just the focal points are a little bit different. These cards are made for my February hybrid monthly stamp club. I have virtual members as well as in-person members. If you want more information about that, just send me a message. And for those that are my virtual members, we're going to be making this card today. So get out your paper packet that has the blue pieces that look something like this. So blue's my favorite color, and there's many beautiful shades of blue, but this one is bordering blue. So we're going to start out with our cardstock base, the typical cardstock base, which is 5.5 wide by 8.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're just going to take this and burnish it with my bone folder. Next, we're going to make some pencil marks to denote where we're going to do some scoring. I'm going to use my paper grid for that. So first off, we're going to use the ruler part on it at the bottom here. So I want to find the midpoint for, let's see if I got a lead here. Yes. Okay, the midpoint on the bottom of along the 5.5 inch edge, and the midpoint of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So make it little tick mark with your pencil there. Okay, then you're going to turn it on its side at the 4.5 inch edge once it's folded for your card front, and you're going to find the midpoint of this, which is 2 1/8. So go to 2 and 1 tick beyond, that's 2 1/8, and then turn your card over and do the same. Find 2 1/8. Okay, and that's all the pencil marks you need. Next, we're going to take, this is the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer and score, and we're going to use this. This comes with a cutting blade, which is the darker blade, and the lighter blade is a score blade. So I'm going to park the cutting blade at the top. Now, this isn't a difficult card, but you do have to focus and pay attention because it's so easy to use the wrong blade if you're not paying attention. So you're going to take that middle tick mark on the 5.5 inch edge and line that up in the groove of the paper trimmer, and then align the score line of your card front base, and just take your score blade, go back and forth a few times, and you've got a score line. Then go the other direction, the midway point of your card front on the 5.5 inch edge, and go to the score line of your card front, and go back and forth and score a few times. Next, you're going to take the midpoint again, and this time you're going to go to the tick mark on the side of your card and score that. Do the same with the other side, the tick mark on the side with the middle of your card front. All right, so that is that. Next up, I'm going to take a piece of designer paper, and this paper, it's really pretty, if I can get it out. This print comes from, the paper packet is called Flight and Airy. You can find this in the Celebration brochure. This is free with the $50 purchase, and it's got some beautiful color combinations in there, and I'm building my color combination based on this card pack. So we're going to take the piece of designer paper, and now this is cut down just 1/4 inch smaller than my card base. So this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to take that and we're going to find the midpoint of the designer paper. Now I can also use my paper trimmer to make this mark. The midway point of 5 1/4 is going to be 2 5/8. Now I want to make sure I'm doing it on the bottom of it. So 2, so find 2 1/2 and just go a tick mark beyond that, and that will be your midpoint right there. If you wanted to double check that, you could always, and you could do it this way too, just do a little crease line there. Okay, so now take your midpoint and go up to the corner edge of your designer paper, and this time we're cutting. So take your cutting blade and cut that. Okay, and then take and shift it to the other side. Take that midpoint again and go up to the other opposite corner and cut. Okay, now I do want to point out that it's important, if you've got a pattern that is got a certain direction to it versus an all over pattern like this bird pattern is, when you're cutting your designer paper, you want to make sure that the horizontal measurement, the 5 1/4, has the direction going horizontally for the pattern. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So you're going to take this piece and then turn these pieces over and just flip the sides. So it's going to be looking like this. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back in, shift this a little bit, and I'm going to take my card base and I'm going to fold along the score line that goes from the corner edge score line to the front. So I'm going to take this and burnish it with my bone folder and do the same on the opposite side, following that score line we made. Okay, now the other 2 score lines, we're going to fold back the opposite direction. So once that's folded over, fold this one, bend it down and back. So it's going to form your arrow. That point isn't coming out as good as I want because it's getting a little wonky on me. You can finesse it a little bit. And because I want it to form a point. That's kind of the whole point, is making an arrow. That got a little wonky on me, but I think maybe I didn't go, yeah, let's see. It's going to be good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to take the pieces of designer paper I cut, and I'm going to adhere the front one on the main part. Adhere that to my front here. Kind of getting it centered. Just fight me a little bit here. Oops. Try this one more time. All right. Okay, and then there's a piece of basic white that is also cut 1/4 inch smaller than the card front. That's going to go on the inside, and so that's cut 4 at 5 1/4. You're going to take your contrasting pieces, your triangles, and you're going to adhere them down on the bottom like this. So we'll go ahead and do that. And the other side as well. Okay. Now I want to put some adhesive on the folds here. So I'll open up that first fold and put some down on this panel. Smooth that out. Do the same on the opposite side. Okay, and then for this piece, you want to do the inside flap here. Now you want to make sure you're not going past this mark because you don't want adhesive to get beyond that. So you want to just do like this arrow part is all you need. Okay, and then we're going to place this in the inside of the card, centering that. Like that. So there is your card base. Now you just want to decorate it however you want. So let's do that. Okay. I've got some scraps here I'm going to do some die cutting with. Okay. I'm going to pull in my little mini die cut and emboss machine. I'm going to put plate 1 down, plate 2, and then I'll do my die cutting. So I am using this Paper Florist dies. There are a bunch of flower dies. Now this is a die set that doesn't coordinate with the stamp set. It's a standalone, and it makes many different beautiful flowers with leaves and middles of flowers. You can make them dimensional or not. Lots of different possibilities here. So I'm using this one. I've already pre-cut the middle of the flower and done one of the leaves. So we'll just do another one. So this has a big and small petal. I'm doing 2 of this flower and 1 of these. So I've already pre-cut some of it, but I just wanted to show you the rest. There's the bigger flower getting die cut, and I'll do a second leaf for my card as well. So I'll send them both through at the same time. Put my second plate 2 down and send this through. All right. Okay. Now I also want to do a circle for my focal point. So let me just put these dies away and we'll pull that out. Okay. I'm going to take a piece of basic white, put my plate 1 down with plate 2, put the basic white in, and then I'm just got to grab the dies. And it is one of these circles. Now this die set is called Everyday Details. It comes with these rectangles, this border, and all these circles. And it makes a really impactful circle. You'll see what I mean once I've cut it. So I want to cut one of those. So I'll send that through. Oops. Get that started. All right. Now I've heard that you can use a dryer sheet, but I've used also wax paper that you can put down against the die, and then these circles will fall right out. I'm just poking them out with my take your pick tool, not a big deal, but this is what I mean by the impact it makes. Just those, it just really makes a impactful focal point. So we're going to build our flower on top of that. Get this all set aside. All right. So now I'm going to pull my flowers in here, the ones that are pieces I've die cut already and die cut with you, and we'll build our flower on this circle. So I'm going to take my Tombow Mono liquid glue. You could also use glue dots if you prefer. And I'm just going to put some of that glue down. I'm getting low on this bottle, but I think we have enough here. Just give it a shake and clean that nozzle off. And there, we got a gunk of glue that came off, so that should work now. When you're using the glue, you just want to make sure, once you've used it as much as I have, you get used to how much you need. You don't need a ton. It's a strong glue, and you don't want it oozing out. So just a little line of it will do. Okay, so I'm going to put some adhesive down. This is the same size flower, and I'm going to just offset the petals, and you can kind of manipulate it to bend where you want it to. And then I'm going to come in with that smaller flower on top. Oh, I forgot. I always forget this part. I want to tuck my leaves in. Now, this glue does dry pretty quick, so I'm going to need to get in here before it completely dries. Oops. It's a lot easier if you do that first. Okay, so there's one leaf, and then I want to do another one. Let's see, we'll do it over here. Hopefully I can get that peeled up a little. Get this tucked under. There we go. And then we'll finish off with the middle of the flower, this yellow perforated looking piece. And that'll be the middle of the flower. Okay, so that's my focal point. Now, the one remaining thing I want to do is a greeting. And I've got a strip of basic white here that is about 3/4 inch wide. And sometimes I like to come in with just a strip of cardstock rather than like a die or something. There's enough going on in this card that I thought sometimes something need to be simplified, and it's the greeting that I'm simplifying. So I've got this set that's got Go-To greetings. I use this all the time, and it's got different size greetings and different fonts, and I'm going to go for a thinking of you, and this is the size I'm going for. I wanted to point out the reason why this looks like this is it was picking up a line when I stamped on the edge, so I just went in with a scissors and trimmed that a little bit closer, but that's why that sticker part got kind of cut off. The stamp isn't just that sticker. All right, so I want to take some Misty Moonlight, which is the darkest blue that's in that designer paper pack, so I know it will coordinate, and I'm gonna stamp the thinking of you down on this piece of basic white. And I'm simply going to cut off the size that I want. So right on the end here. And we'll just finish off our card then. I'm going to put the focal point, turning it the way I want. Let's see. We'll do that. And then I'm going to have the greeting go, tuck it just kind of underneath there. So now I know where I want the placement. So let's come in with some adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and place that down like that. And then go in with some adhesive for this. There, that completes the folded card. I wanted to show you the stamped one. So for this one, I used the Artistically Inked stamp sets. and the coordinating dies. And I stamped, I'll show you the stamped images. I stamped the big rose, a couple of smaller ones. So this is in bordering blue, the same as the base of our card. Fresh freesia, daffodil, no, not daffodil light, garden green for the leaves, and that's how I built my focal point. So I stamped them and then I cut them out with the coordinating dies. So that is the stamped version of it. Both of them use the colors that are in that color pack. Just wanted to show you some different possibilities there. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. You will see more pictures and the list of supplies, and I'll put some measurements down too on my blog. And again, that's myhappyplace.typepad.com. Thanks for joining me.